Good evening, everybody. How are you? Welcome to the show, Comedy, Chords, and Chaos, May the 20th, What is it? 26th. It's been a long day, and it was a last-minute scramble like usual. Oh, Skype has decided to change things around on us with the software, and then, guitars and microphones and rock stars and sound guys. And, well, we're here. So tonight, special guest. I've been really looking forward to this. I met Brian MacMillan, I guess it was last year, I think, at a show, and just absolutely amazing. So we're going to be talking to Brian. Brian has 3 solo albums, and he also has a duo that he's put together with Sheila Carabine. I hope I'm saying that right. It's called Kennedy Road. They have a new album out. And May the 30th, they have a big show coming up that you can get tickets for. You can watch it online. I suggest you do that. We'll talk about that tonight. The vinyl is out, and it is available to be shipped. And I am happy to say that I have my order in because I was afraid this stuff would sell out. I have my vinyl. Yeah. I've got it coming. And I figured if I got Brian on the show, maybe he could speed up the shipping a little bit so I can get it here. So we have that. So we're going to get into Brian's stuff. We're going to have a look at a little bit of what he's got here. Here's the album you can get. Where's the album? Right there. That's the album you want. Awesome cover. The telly looks great. And over on this side, a couple of his albums. I listen to them regularly on my phone while I'm working with my Apple Pods. So we got lots to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about also how the the lockdown is affecting his music because he is a full-time musician. So we're going to get into that. But first, we're going to get into the news. Where do we start? Well, let's start right here. Once again, we have Twitter problems. I'm going to have to move over here. It is the news here. HuffPost says that bots are responsible for half the tweets. And on COVID. So, again, they're promoting fake cures, spreading conspiracy theories, and pushing to reopen America. This is music to the fans of Donald Trump. Cuckoo, tweet. Is that a tweet or a cuckoo? I can't really make out what it is.
It's a tweet.
It's a tweet. Is that what a tweet sound makes when you send a tweet? I'm not a big Twitter guy. I have
no idea. I don't use Twitter. Nope.
So since half of America voted for Trump and half the tweets are fake, it's perfect. So, anyways, while America opens up, this nurse in Russia decided it was too hot working on the men's ward, so she took off all her clothes except for her underwear and strolled around and took care of business. And good news is they are not going to be firing her from her job. I could only imagine. I bet these guys really did need a ventilator after seeing that. I could only imagine what it was like for these poor guys. Speaking of being released, scientists have discovered that penguin poo is containing laughing gas. I mean, this is just imagine. We got Mark.
Penguins everywhere.
Mark, have you been working with penguins lately? I can only imagine. The good news is, at the end of it, everyone had happy feet.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Speaking of happy feet, wow. Believe it or not, we're back to filling the stands with fake fans, but in Seoul. In Seoul, they decided that they wouldn't use cardboard cutouts like we had last week. They used sex dolls. Absolutely great idea. What a great way to put sex dolls.
Hang on, I got to blow mine up.
But apparently...
Okay, I'm good.
Apparently, the game didn't disappoint. Players ended up doing more heading. And after the game, they had a big shootout. And, who knew things would blow up like this? But... Speaking of getting whacked, Fox News has said that men's beards have evolved so men could take punches, which kind of makes a little bit of sense. I mean, you got a bit more padding on your head, which kind of led me to believe, is the man bun the new hard hat? I mean, maybe that's what it's for. And and this is also a follow-up article. Well, not really a follow-up, but we did discuss this before, but we had something similar to this. Apparently, when talking about the UFOs that they saw, the Pentagon released the videos. Apparently, the pilot said they were the shape of a suitcase, or the size of a suitcase. And this kind of leads me to believe where all the lost luggage is going. The aliens are taking all the luggage. So maybe these UFOs are actually lost luggage. That's what I'm thinking. And I was going to end there, but today was a big anniversary. 2 years ago today, Doug Ford promised us buck a beer if he got elected. Instead, we got expensive cases of Corona. And that, my friends, is the chaotic news. Yeah, good old Dougie. It's not all good news for Doug. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to bring in the gang tonight, everybody. At my side here, we've got Brian MacMillan. We've got Mark Burschapper below me. And down below, across from me, is Tim Hay. Tim Hay and Mark Burschapper are from the Pearl Jam tribute band Lightning Bolt. And let's get things undergo. So, what are we going to do first? Before we dive into everything about Brian, what is it? The life of Brian. What a perfect segue. We're gonna, Mark. Are we gonna do the this week in music first? Let's do this week in music. Oh, hold on. That's me. Hold on. Oh my God. Jeez. I am so slow. Usually do all the time.
Music.
All right. It was a slow week. Because what was the club called? What was the club called? That'd be a hard one to find. Oh man. Saving money. But it led to the Animals album, though, didn't it? It could. That's right. I had the flu. I do. Because the promoter from the Blue Rodeo show was supposed to come out and see us that night, and that's why we went. And I had the flu, and I wanted to cancel it, but I figured this guy was coming, so we did the show anyways. No one showed up. The guy didn't show up, and I ended up playing with the flu, but we still got the gig, so we still opened for Blue Rodeo, which was really good. But don't you remember that, Mark? Was that your days when you were? Is that your cocaine, heroin days? Was that? Oh God, that was sad. That was sad. That was sad. That last one. Wow. Yay! All right. Well, we have something new that we're doing this week, and yeah, I told you. Didn't you get the memo? Because Brian, this was inspired from me listening to your music. So, yeah. So what I'm doing is for our guests that we get on the show, musical guests. If we didn't have Brian anymore, or we had to make Brian into a smoothie, what would we put in it to get a Brian MacMillan musical smoothie? And I have the ingredients here. So what you would do for all you people out there that want to really get a taste of Brian MacMillan, you can make the musical smoothie. So what you need is, and this is from listening to your music, you need a scoop of Paul McCartney and Wings. You need a 1/4 tablespoon of the Steve Miller Band. You need a 1/2 tablespoon of Bruce Cockburn. You need a 1/4 cup of James Taylor. You need a 1/4 cup of Bob Marley and a 1/2 cup of Paul Simon. Add a dash of the Secret Magic. You mix it at 33 1/3 RPMs, and you drink it in the sunshine. And that, my friends, is a Brian MacMillan musical smoothie. So if you like any of those ingredients, you need Brian's stuff in your playlist. So there you go. There's your smoothie. So, yeah, you inspired that listening to your music. I kept hearing all these amazing little. I mean, a lot of times they're not your influences, but they're influences the listener hears in your music. You get that taste. And so, yeah, so it goes to show you how great the music is. So, Brian, welcome to the show. Awesome. It's always good to say it first and then get feedback on it because, yeah, I didn't ask. I didn't send a message and say, hey, what do you think? So, yeah, definitely. I love the reggae tones. And I want to jump back to how we met first because you were playing with Trish Robb doing a gig at a beautiful little venue, the Hayden Community Hall. And I was there doing some video. And you were playing there with Trish, and then towards the end of the night, you got up there and took front stage and played Queen Bee, I believe. And I caught it on video, and I ended up editing it together in a video. And I absolutely just loved how you played it, how it all went. It was such an open jam. We had everyone jumping in on it, and so that's when I was introduced to your music and fell in love with it. So that's a little bit of history. Ex- that's right. Yeah. And I was looking forward to that too, because I was going to go take pictures again and do that. So yeah, disappointing. But so tell us that, while we go back to your music, how it all started. Why don't we do that? Why don't we go back to your journey, when it all started for you? What got you into this?
artist, and I would draw all the time. And then I got into BMXing, and that was like, riding a BMX, and I did that all day, every day. And then I got into skateboarding, and when I was a little bit older, and I thought, okay, I'm going to be a pro skateboarder, and skateboarded for many years, all day, every day, and got sponsored by the local Cyclepath shop, and then. But I always loved music. I even found a couple little booklets that I had when I was a kid, where I'd sit down in front of the stereo and write down all the Jackson 5 lyrics, press pause on the tape, and I'd have a booklet of lyrics that I could just read and memorize these tunes. So it was always always kind of a passion of mine. But it's funny for me, given how different the place that I'm at now, but the thing that really got me into playing guitar primarily was Nirvana, like Kurt Cobain. When that came out, I was kind of late to music for the people that I knew that were really, going for it with music. I was already in my mid to late teens, and then Nirvana kind of was like, oh man, I need to play some punk rock guitar, and that got me my first guitar, and put me in the basement, and helped me start to annoy all the people in around me for crazy amounts of times. And then I decided, I wanted to get a lot better at guitar, so I decided to try and get into jazz school, and so started practicing like a maniac, and then eventually got into Humber and took a couple years of school there, and quickly realized that I kind of sucked as a jazz guitarist. I thought, oh, I'm pretty good, and then you get in there and it's like, wow, I'm really not good at all. Like, there's people in here that are really, really good. But I had always loved songs anyway, like my dad was really a huge fan of Cat Stevens, and the kind of James Taylor and the songwriter tradition. So that was always in me, and I think jazz school kind of taught me how to practice, but it quickly showed me that I couldn't focus on it, because I wanted to write words, and I wanted to be a finger picking guitarist, and so that started me just taking acoustic lessons, and taking the songwriting side of it more seriously, and then just spending all of my time writing songs, basically. But from that point on, I really, I have this song that kind of outlines all the jobs that I've had, and I've had about 45 jobs in my life. So it was like just kind of doing any job that I could just to kind of buy me some time to practice. And that was much of my growing up, my 20s and everything, was just like, how little can I do so that I can just practice guitar and songwriting and singing as much as I possibly can. So that would, at that point I was screwed. That was, it was done.
I think that's the problem, though, when you fall in love with music. I mean, I was kind of fortunate that I didn't fall in love with playing until later in life. Like I was a campfire guitar player, but it wasn't until later, after I got my career all sorted out, that I decided I wanted to be a rock star, which
right,
which wasn't going to happen. But we had a lot of fun doing it.
Right.
But yeah,
totally.
I think chasing that dream it can be, when you get hooked in like that. That's it. Yeah. 45 jobs. Yeah. I hear you.
I can totally relate to your story, because I mean, for me, my late teens, coming out of high school, into my 20s, was music. I mean, I was always so passionate about music, and that's what I did. I just dove right into it, and I did everything I could, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And I would do, like you said, a job here, jobs there, to do what I could, and focused on music. And I've pretty much been doing that. And yeah, then you'd come to a point where you realize, you know, you're either going to go or you're not going to go, but you got to make a decision.
Yeah.
But you don't want to give it up at all. I mean,
No, no.
it's your passion, right? I know
Yeah.
it's what you love to do, and it's the only thing for me anyway, the only thing I've ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
So you just keep on going and keep doing it for the love of doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny when it intersects that place where where you're trying to balance that line of playing as much as you can and trying to make a living at it, and then even within the bigger spectrum of making a living playing music, there's it's a pretty wide pool at the base, but this very specific kind of things you want to do at the apex of it, there's it's a pretty small bandwidth, so
Yeah, totally.
So even deciding down at the bottom where you're doing 45 jobs within music, then it's still like, okay, well, even within that place, there's many decisions like, well, maybe it would be better for me to have one other job, and then I could I could erase 30 of these things that I'm doing that are kind of taking up all my time, and I'm not getting to do the one or two things that really give me my drive to keep doing it,
Yeah, totally.
So it's a challenging, yeah. And then it just sucks being broke too. After a while.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the other problem.
Totally.
Being in music.
Reality,
And you're always hoping, in a sense, like you figure now you're doing this album, and like we were talking earlier, this bad luck draw of it all coming right when this happens. Like someone could have just finished their album. They could have had it out. They could have toured. They could have just been coming off the tour, and it could have been the best thing that happened to them. Or, you know what I mean? But you were just getting ready to go, and it's like, no. And because there are people that are thriving right now. That's what's crazy about this. There's people that are, or there's people at home. We talked about this last time. There's people at home that don't want to go back to work because they're loving it.
Yeah.
Right now it's 30 degrees outside. They're in the pool. I know people that have pools, and the other day I drove by a pool supply place that was lined up.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like I'm almost like I don't even want people to know that I had a nice day today. That I was working, but you know what I mean? You just don't want to say nothing. You just don't want to upset anybody. It's kind of become it's like there's people out there that aren't wearing a mask, but they're telling everyone they're wearing a mask because they don't want to upset anybody. They just don't want to. And so right now, like especially people like you, and I think it was Joe Tilley who mentioned last week, we were talking about sports and stuff like that, but he made the point that, well, artists can still play their music online. And then I thought about it after. I thought, yeah, but the problem is all of a sudden social media gets so saturated with someone coming on and doing a live show. And I was watching a live show. I don't know if I talked about this last week. I was talking to someone about it, but they were doing it, and the count was only like 3 or 4 people on this live stream show, and I could tell they were looking at that, and they were frustrated. And then all of a sudden, it was like, well, I was going to do 3 more songs, but I'm only going to be doing 1. And I thought, oh no, because this thing could be watched over and over and over again. You just can't have that attitude. And you could just see the frustration in the artist's face, and I was picking up on it all. Maybe that's because I'm always in your photographing, you're seeing all the stuff. But I just thought, it's so tough. So how
like we said last week, though, I mean, we've all been in the situation too where you're playing a gig at a bar or club or whatever, and you're playing to, the girlfriends and the other bands that are there, or whoever, or it's completely empty. So it's
your
it's
girlfriends
really no
that
different.
are leaving with the other band. Yeah, while you're still playing. Yeah. No, it's true. Like, so you guys have so this Saturday you have your concert. And I love the setup because you're selling tickets now. Is that something that you're going to do through getting a link? How does that work?
Yeah, so that's through this through a website called Side Door Access.
Right.
And it's called Side Door, and Side Door Access is kind of the pass that gets you in, but it's a site that's been set up by started by at least partially started by Dan Mangan. If you guys know him, he's a Canadian singer-songwriter, and he's great. And this was kind of initially, like it used to be before all this went down. It was primarily, it was like a website where bands could upload their profile. And so you have the band side of it, and then you have the venue side of it. And so the people who have a house, or they have a photo studio, or they have a backyard that is awesome, and they upload their venue, whatever it is. And so there's a directory of venues and a directory of artists, and either one of those can engage each other. So I could look through the directory and say, oh, look at this amazing place, and it's right around the corner from me. I'm going to send them an email and say, check out my profile. I'd love to come and play at your place with my band. And so it was linking up those kind of things. Which,
is it kind of like a home roots kind of, in a sense? I think Brian froze.
It's a little less streamlined.
Right.
Like it's kind of anything goes,
Oh, okay.
But I played a few of them before too, and it was super awesome actually. But it quickly morphed into this kind of portal for now people, for it being not only people that were already a part of the website and the Side Door thing, but just kind of Side Door became the medium that had all of the framework with Zoom, and matched Zoom with performers, and then the performers could sell tickets through Side Door. So Side Door would take a small percentage of it, but primarily sets up the whole framework, and then it's like an organized way to do a live stream that's still kind of like a venue,
Right.
And then you'd buy the ticket online through Side Door, and then you'd get emailed a Zoom link, and then
right.
And then, whatever, half an hour before the show start time, you could sign in, and you'd be led into the virtual waiting room kind of thing,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's
Pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. There's a lot of people who are because it's so well known, and a lot of well-known Canadian musicians and stuff. It's like some people are having 700 people watch their show through Side Door, which is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is could be the future of the music as well as an option. I don't know. Is there something going on with the sound here? I don't know if you guys cut out. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just, I think because I was just talking, you guys cut out. But I think this could also be an addition to the future when, the clubs do open up. I think that this could be a way, once the technology picks up. I think the technology needs to get better, and it will. I know a lot of emphasis goes into gaming and all that kind of stuff, but I think that if we could put more energy into getting good quality musical streams, because you guys are really good, you also need good sound coming to the fan or to the listener. And
totally.
You need that. But there's a lot of people that would love your music but just don't want to get off the couch. And that's why we see lower numbers in the clubs, because they don't want to go out and spend $100. But if they could spend the $10 on the ticket and not have to buy the dinner and the beers and all the other Ubers and all that and the babysitting,
they could stay home and have their buck of beer.
So I think the future is finding a way, like you said, if it's Side Door or other ways to make these shows. But even if you have an audience there, it would bring the live effect to your show, but then you could stream it out. But again, then you need all the extra stuff with it. So
that's the thing. There's a whole even just for preparing for this show, like it's just the gear is just rolling in again. Now it's like, add AV tech to the resume, like all the cables and all the extensions and the internet and webcams and troubleshooting the technology and the interface and, virtually sound checking with people, like, does this sound good at all? It, like sounds good in my headphones. It might sound awful to you guys,
Oh,
so,
I know. Just doing these streams and stuff, like this has been fun to learn. But like even tonight, now I know we had a glitch earlier because at the beginning of the show, Mark, I don't know when I discovered it, but remember when we were having the issue with the guitar? Oh, not the issue, but you were playing with the guitar and we were about to go live. Well, I muted Skype so that you could do that, but I didn't unmute it. So it took a while to figure that out. So I don't know. I don't know when. I think we might even miss the news. I don't know. But this is again. I got all the. Yeah. Who knows, right?
Put us back on now.
Yeah. So we might have to do the news before we leave.
Subtitles apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put the sub. Well, I don't even think that would work. You need the audio. The audio wasn't going through to pick up the subtitles because yeah.
Oh,
but
that's funny. But I could hear you. I could hear the news. It's just us hanging out
it's
anyway.
Just everybody.
Yeah, so
exactly.
So
no, but the other thing is I didn't have the comments turned on, and then I realized, and I turned the comments on, and then I saw that there was all these messages. There's no sound. There's no sound. I can only hear Mark. There's no sound. There's no. I'm like, oh my god, why did I have those?
Oh, right.
But
are you also watching through Facebook?
No, the software that I use has it. So. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so you can see the outside world looking in a bit.
Yeah,
right.
so I'll do some neat clips after, because I usually after the show's over or the next day I usually do some clips of the show and send them back out. But
right,
yeah, it's fun. It's like doing a gig in a sense, because there is that. That's why I like going live at 9. You got to scramble to get it all ready. You can't cheat or get lazy, so it's kind of fun. But yeah, you live and learn. But it keeps getting better. We keep getting better at it, and we're having a lot of fun at it. And but again, just another opportunity to keep like that. The whole idea was on lockdown. How can we offer something to artists out there to at least just keep the wheels rolling? Do something where we can. I've been throwing these out. I've been boosting these for the artists too, so that it gets around, and it's been helping too. So every little bit helps. But it's been a lot of fun just to go through the motions and have fun with people. But so how long has the duo been going? Is it fairly new? Or?
It's pretty new. It's just been 2.5 years about. Yeah, so it's we kind of. We've played a handful of shows. We've played a bunch of shows, but this summer was our first kind of like, oh wow, things are starting to happen. A bunch of festivals and a proper tour and some neat opening slots, and so there was momentum. Some quick momentum in terms of the musical arc at times, where it can be kind of no man's land for a long time. Like, is anything happening? And it's all like unattached linear moves, there's no kind of arc to them. And this was like, oh, there's that good old feeling of accomplishing something is kicking back in, and that's great,
Yeah.
So so at this point it's still relatively a fledgling.
And that's like I was saying, like you're in one of those situations where it is extremely frustrating, because it's not like somebody who works at a job where, oh, you know what, guys, we can't make cars this week because we're still on lockdown, but we'll be back next week. You know what I mean? Like, it just screws all the plans up. Like that, like you said, it's momentum. There's no momentum for somebody who's working in the car factory, except for getting that regular paycheck. I mean, it doesn't matter what he doesn't do this week; he can do next week. But with you guys, the train stops. And we all know to get the train going again, it's so hard. It's like, oh, then not only do you got to do it all, but you got to find the energy to do it all again.
Yeah,
so yeah, that's why. I mean, geez, I really hope that. And what's your view on this whole lockdown thing? I mean, are you locking yourself in a closet over this, or are you going out, or what's going on?
Well, I'm pretty much, I have a pretty small bubble, like I have my kids and they hang out with their mom half the week and with me half the week. And I very rarely see friends social distancing, but, even then, like I'm hardly seeing more than my very tiny bubble. And, to be honest, it's kind of, I'm kind of loving it. Like I'm one of those people that's like, oh man, this is great. Like,
I don't have
like
to turn down a dinner invitation.
yeah,
It's
it's
easy.
funny. Like I went outside. Like there's people are getting very kind of grassroots in a beautiful way too, right? Like kind of intentional connections and doing things with more intention and being more aware of the impact that we all have in our surroundings. And a friend of mine posted that he was coming back from his parents' farm and he had like 70 pounds of rhubarb, and did anybody want rhubarb? So he sent me a text. He's like, rhubarb's on your porch. And so I went out to get it, and he was still out there. But he's someone that has worked, he told me and I didn't realize, but he worked for 8 years at Hughes Room in Toronto.
Wow.
That music venue that just recently closed. And then he was 11 years at Lula Lounge, and now he's at the Jazz Bistro. And he was saying, he's 50 now, and it's like we were both kind of really remarking and realizing like this may be the only time in our lifetime that we have the opportunity and are in fact encouraged to stop running around like maniacs. And it's pretty great if you can do it,
Yeah, if you're not up to here
like,
with an income, with a needed income. That's the problem. There's so many people
out
there, right?
That's the thing. It's like all of the, for me, it's like the work that I was doing and was investing my time and my energy into building I'm not allowed to do it right now, and it has disappeared. So, if I didn't have even, the CERB benefits been amazing, because if I didn't have that, then I'd be, dead with stress, right? Like so there is this tiny little window where I can just get by, and I can be a good dad, and I can just take care of my basic necessities and appreciate those things, and also, kind of have like a Renaissance kid summer again as an adult. Like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, I really hope.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Brian, has it changed your approach to songwriting at all? Like in terms of just having all of this extra time?
It's funny, I have no time. Like that's the thing. I have zero time, but it's making me realize that it's not like I'm doing anything more. I was doing way too much before. Like removing the extra layer of hustling and constantly scrambling for gigs and doing all that stuff, removing that whole thing, there's still a very full schedule of living and taking care of my people and my basic necessities, and just like surviving is full time, so It's like, oh wow, I don't have any time. And in fact, I've barely played any music. Like it's been weird. I've never had and I wouldn't even necessarily categorize it as a dry spell, but I've always had 10 songs on the go. And I just have, up until recently, and I'm not like adverse to it, but I've just had not a whole lot of pull to be creative on my instrument, It's funny. I think also like kind of what you mentioned too, like the big push right up to just about to launch everything and launch a new level of busyness, and then it all stopping, did certainly kind of, this is a strong word, but along the lines of like, it kind of traumatized me a little bit. I was like, oh my God, like I've been killing myself for a year and for nothing now. So I kind of was like, break time is good. This is good. Like I needed to step away for a bit. So that's been interesting. I'm just kind of, I'm just observing it and not freaking out about it, because normally I'd be like, oh my God, but
well, I think we need rest. I think we've discovered, lots of people, we need rest. We weren't getting it. We're stressing our bodies out and that. And I started, I used a Garmin tracker, and it has a new thing on it. It's your battery. So through Garmin Connect, it does your battery, and it's showing you how much of your battery up to 100% gets charged overnight, because it monitors your heart rate, and then it shows you it getting drained in the day. And I've been going back and looking at the days, and it is really accurate, because you can see the days you did a hell of a lot of stuff and you felt really tired, and the days where you didn't do anything, you can see how it actually charges. And now I'm paying attention to needing that rest, taking more. And I mean, I kind of was before, but I'm used to going 100 miles an hour as well.
Yeah.
So that's how I've learned. So I'm hoping that everybody will learn that you don't need to have so much stuff so you can have more downtime. But I think the sad part is a lot of people are in such a financial mess that they're going to have to go out and scramble again because they want the big houses, the fancy cars, and all the junk, and it all adds up. So hopefully they can come to some hopefully it's long enough where they can realize, you know what? I don't need all that stuff. I just need my happiness, and I need myself. Exactly. That's what I'm hoping comes out of this. And I listen. These streams online too. The problem is people coming in and out of these streams all the time because they can't stay focused enough to watch a whole concert online because they got to be on their phones, and they go on they're watching it on their phone, but now they got to check Facebook. So to check Facebook, they got to get out of the live stream, check their messages, then they go to Instagram, then they come back to the show. But again, where you could watch Netflix and multitask on your phone. That's what's going on in the world. People might say they're not, but there's no one watching Netflix and nothing else. I guarantee you. I even do it. I'm guilty of it, and I know it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, do you want to play a song? You got You got the guitar there before it gets too late.
I'm looking forward to this.
Too late. Late. I'm gonna make. Yeah, we're good to go. So I'm gonna turn the screen over to you, Brian. Take it away.
Okay. This might be one that's kind of suitable for this, the feeling of this time too, and what. This is a bit of an older song, but, and it has a bit of a potentially negative connotation title, but it's ultimately it's not. It's a positive. It's called "What the Use." What's the use? Well, I've got me a mission, and I've got me a call. I've done the addition, do this and that, get so and so. Well, I've got my destination, and I've even got a ride. But what's the use in leaving though you're not by my side? And I went down to the river, and I imagined the sea. I went to the mirror and imagined I was more than me. Then I went down to the highway and I dreamed I had a car. But what's the use in dreaming though you can't be where you are? So what's the use in trying to get ahead and rise above? What's the use in trying if it costs you what you love? Well, I went looking for angels in all the wrong parts of town. I bled my heart out to strangers. It's a wonder that I'm still around. And I arrived with hope for wonder, but had to check that at the door. But what's the use in staying then? It cost you what you came for. So what's the use in trying to get ahead and rise above? What's the use in trying if it costs you what you love? Na 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 na. So don't you wait wait another moment. Don't you wait another day. Don't you listen to what the people have to say. Too many beautiful people being trampled on by too many feet. Too many beautiful ideas lay abandoned down some old side street. Too many beautiful lovers never get to sing their song. What's the use in singing though nobody can sing along? So what's the use in trying to get ahead and rise above? What's the use in trying if it costs you what you love? Na 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 na.
Nice.
Gotta have the crowd. That's beautiful.
Startled me.
I know. It actually, you know what? It does make a difference to have the audience come in.
Totally,
like
totally.
It does. Like it's just
Makes
like,
you feel better, right?
Yeah.
When you hear
You know
that.
what? It actually did. For a minute, I was
You're like, where the hell am I?
That's
Where
what
am
it
I?
sounds
They
like.
turned on the mic for a sec.
It was all a dream.
No, that sounded fantastic. That is.
That was awesome.
That was.
That
great.
was.
That's great.
It's so your
Wow.
stuff is so soulful. The music is so soulful. I just get lost in it. Like,
Yes.
I do.
That-
I just
That
get
is
lost
that
in
is
it.
the perfect word right there. Soulful. Yes.
Yeah, it is. You just get lost in it. Like I put it on. I have it. Like I sometimes make like playlists of people I know and stuff like that. You know, and I'll play it. But the thing is, I can just put your stuff on and go because it does. It takes you through a nice little journey. Like some of that, you know, the reggae sounds. It's like sunshine beach stuff. Like if I was on holiday, if I went away somewhere and I was sitting on a beach somewhere, I would definitely have one of your records packed in the phone because, yeah, it's just
Nice.
it's just so chilling. It's great. And
Good,
so
good.
go back because I saw a video where you were involved with a songwriters. Actually, what was it called? Ships and Dip. Was it Ships and Dip?
Oh yeah.
Way back
Chips and dip, yeah.
with the lads from Bare Naked Ladies and a few others. What was the whole deal there? Was it a folk festival?
It was like a ship fest. You know how they have a million of these, right? Like they have the rock boat and the songwriter cruise, and so the Bare Naked Ladies did their own curated boat festival. I think they did four of them, and I was playing with Kevin Hearn in his own band called Thin Buckle. So we got to be on that. Thin Buckle played on each of those cruises. So we went on those cruises, and they they just kind of really utilized every musician in every way that they could. So I got asked to do that. For me, it was a really awesome opportunity for me. It's like, oh my God, I'm on this stage, but just me with, like Chris Murphy of Sloan and Ed Robertson and, Alan Doyle and like just all of these.
You certainly belong on that stage for sure. And
Oh, beauty.
but one
Thanks.
question I do have is Kennedy Road.
Yeah.
What Kennedy Road is it? The one in Scarborough? Or the one out?
It's so funny. Everybody asks that. It's actually both because Sheila grew up on Kennedy Road in Scarborough and I grew up on Kennedy Road in Brampton.
Oh,
That's how
okay.
we arrived at that name.
Okay.
I know the
Yeah.
Scarborough one. I used to work on Kennedy Road in
Oh, yeah.
Kennedy in Progress. So yeah, that's
Oops.
so yeah,
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah, it's
you
funny.
can't
That's-
avoid it, right? So yeah, Kennedy Road.
I know.
Oh, Kennedy. That's
Yeah,
that's
that
cool.
was-
Yeah, that's neat. Well, I love the one video you did where you guys were driving around Kennedy Road, I guess, and you going into different stores and stuff like that. It was just a video of you walking, you're driving, and yeah, again, great video. And the one that recently just came out, what's the
Heart will buzz.
yeah. Great,
with the
great
deer.
with
That's a
the
great
with the
song.
drone shot. Have you taken any flack over that video? Has anyone got on?
I haven't. No.
Because
But I
Not
was
yet.
kind of I was expecting like there to be some kind of commenting about it, because
the yeah.
why? What do you why which part of the flack?
No, because of the drone flying near the animals. Because I have a drone
Yeah.
myself, and
Yeah.
I was watching it, going, "This is great," but I'm wondering, man, I wonder if anyone's going to chirp up and say, "You can't fly that close to animals. You can't startle animals." People have been actually,
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful video, and obviously the
Yeah.
drone was not that close, but it was just beautiful. Yeah, it was just so it went so nice with the music, like the whole
Yeah,
you know, the,
yeah. It was interesting, that video, like the actual footage is a lot longer. It's probably like an 8-minute one shot of this drone thing,
Right.
and my friend Jim Hardy in Prince Edward County filmed it in his backfield there, and yeah, he goes up to the deer. We didn't use nearly as much of the footage that there was there, but he kind of goes up to them, and he doesn't startle them as much as just kind of annoy them. Like they're checking it out and they don't move, and he's kind of right in their face and they're just looking at it, and they walk to another bush, and then he's over there with them and they just turn their backs and kind of ignore it. And then they decide to just like do a little trot to one part of the field, and he kind of follows from behind. And then when they actually start running fast is when he was away from them, and they just kind of decided to bolt from the field. And that's when he came in, and that was the shot,
Yeah, no, it was just great. I just gained great song, great vocals, just really good.
Awesome.
Fantastic
Thank you.
harmonies.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
This whole, I was really looking forward to the show coming up. Were you going to be doing that show on your own at the Hayden? Was it just you guys, or was there someone else? I can't even remember if there was someone else.
There was someone else, and I can't remember.
It was Jake Henley, Jacob Henley, I think, was going to be doing that show as well. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
he's a local Newcastle guy.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was someone that I
Another
didn't
great
know,
performer.
but yeah, I did remember. Yeah.
Well, that's what we were thinking of doing. This show initially, we talked about doing that show in that venue, where we would bring out artists.
Man.
We would bring an artist. We would do a sit down, because we loved how people would actually listen to the band there. And so we were going to do this show, have an artist come out, talk like we're talking, so they get to actually listen and have a little chat, have a laugh, give out some prizes, and have some fun, and then the band would play. And that's how this all started back in October. And then obviously we got busy because we're doing 100 million things. And then the lockdown came, and I said, well, let's do it live and get it started. And then maybe when the dust settles and we get back out there, we'll be kind of have it together where we could do these things. Because that's what I wanted to. Yeah, I wanted to do some stuff too, because I rent a barn at a farm, and I wanted to do some outdoor dinners. Like we have a pizza oven there, and I thought, you bring in a musical act, you pay them. People pay a fee to come, and they can bring their food or whatever, but it's creating like a small, tight festival. Not a big one, but where everyone
Pink Floyd
comes.
to come and redo the barn.
Yeah. If there's no one there, we'll get Pink Floyd. But no, that's my idea in the future, is have these events where people can come but be a part of it. Where there's food and everyone's involved and everyone. But then the main thing is everybody listens to the music. That's, to me, is what it's all about. The artist wants people to listen to their music. And make sure they get paid properly is the other thing that I'm advocating for. That they get paid. I always buy people's music. Like your stuff, I'm gonna pay. I always pay for it. Whoever's got an album coming out, if I like it, I buy it. Like why not support your local artist? I can, I'll down.
That's amazing.
I don't need to buy Supertramp's albums. I have Supertramp's albums. I can listen to that on Spotify. I don't need to do that. I paid for it once, but I haven't bought your stuff. So if I'm going to listen to your stuff on Spotify, I'm also going to buy it, and that's the deal. I think everyone needs to adopt. If you're going to listen to your, plug it.
This is coming for you, buddy. This just got over here today, so I'm pretty pumped about just screw the cover. Just I'm more pumped about.
I know.
Just the.
That's why. That's why I ordered it. It reminds me of
the blue
Elvis.
Vinyl, I know.
Elvis had blue vinyl.
Amazing.
Yeah, Moody
Did he
Blue.
really?
Moody Blue album. Elvis had blue vinyl. So So you're up there with Elvis now.
way.
So there you go.
I
Little
know.
trivia for you. Moody Blue. My dad had it.
That's amazing.
And the day Elvis died, we got in the car and we drove to Bayview Mall and we bought every other frickin' Elvis record he didn't have.
Really?
The day he died.
Wow.
The day the music died, we ended up coming home with a whole bunch of vinyl. Yeah, I grew up listening to Elvis.
That's amazing.
So,
it's so funny those moments. Remembering those moments. I remember being at my friend's house when Marvin Gaye, when his father shot him, and he was dead. I remember being at my friend's house and his mom just like running upstairs, bawling and like knowing that something had happened, but I was too young to really understand or to know like what or even who that was. Right? It was just like, oh, this thing, but that is forever burnt into my brain. Like I remember being at a Tim Hortons outside of Banff when Jerry Garcia died, and my friend was with me who was a huge Deadhead, and he was like destroyed, and I didn't really, I wasn't like personally attached to the Dead, and I didn't know, but for him it was like, we got to stop the trip, man. Jerry's dead. And I was just like, oh wow,
actually,
I'll
gotta
never
keep the trip
forget
going
that.
now. Yeah, crazy stuff. Because you get the music means so much to you when you've listened to it.
Man,
Especially,
I get it.
I remember when John Lennon died, man. My dad and I came home. We were in the driveway in the car. I remember it. The radio was on. We were just about to turn the car off, and it came on the radio 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, oh my God. And he just come out with, Double Fantasy, and it was like, and again,
wow.
My dad wanted to go to the record store. Luckily enough, it was closed.
That's awesome.
So do you want to finish off with one more tune? It's like we've been here at it for an hour. So do you want to finish off with a tune, or
sure?
Do you want to do one more?
Sure. Yeah, I want to hear some more. Yeah.
Do we have time for a tune? Yeah,
we certainly do.
All right. All right. Well, maybe I'll try this Heart Will Buzz tune. A little hard without Sheila to sweeten up the harmonies, but I love this song. This song is just kind of about as much just about like personal rebirth and the kind of connection to making music again, and just what that can feel like to be to re-find a sense of purpose, in the passions that you have and what you follow. Well, you make me wanna sing, and I didn't wanna sing no more. Thought that I had sealed the door on that broken room. 'Cause what good can that bring? Oh, I don't wanna live dirt poor. No, I can't do that no more. And I'm not jumping through rings. But look at that sky. He's opening up like me, way up above the canopy. You can see for miles and miles away. I see a little light from here, a glowing in the atmosphere. Something's gonna change, 'cause that's the sound I'm dreaming of, humming in the clouds above. And it will find its way, because it always does. The heart will buzz. Well, you make me wanna run to all the places I don't know, small corners in the big shadows that hold me at night. And I thought that I was done, but I got a little fight left yet, a few surprises for the movie set. I'm rewriting this scene, 'cause that's the sound I'm dreaming of, humming and it will find its way because it always does. The heart will burn. Well, can you find your own way home? And if you saw it, would you know it? And I don't mind if you don't own it, but if you feel it, go ahead and show it. That's the sound I'm dreaming, humming in the clouds above, and it will find its way to us. It always does. The heart. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ooh.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, that was great.
There's such a good hook in that song. It's so good.
Oh.
So good.
Awesome.
So, folks, get the vinyl. If you don't have, well, get the vinyl anyways because it's blue. You got to have it.
Ooh.
Put it on the wall. Whoa. Get the vinyl.
You got an encore here.
But, guys,
Don't worry.
I, for those listening and for those who are going to see this after, check out Brian's music. Check out Kennedy Road. Go and pay for this stuff, too. Just don't listen on Spotify because 0.010 something cents you get. It's not worth it. Go pay the $10. Go to iTunes. Buy the record. Listen to it because you won't be disappointed. And we will see you, Brian, as soon as we get out of this. I'll be down to see you guys play for sure. And hopefully we get you back. Hopefully we get you back out here to Hayden. But if we can't get you into the Hayden Hall, we'll get you out to the farm and we'll get you out for one of our picnics and
I'd love
have
that.
some pizza. So,
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I look forward to it. And thanks again for doing this because, again, the reason you're here is I just love your music. I just love your music.
Oh, thank you.
So thanks
guys. I
again.
really
And remember,
appreciate it.
guys, if you need the recipe for Brian's smoothie, I can get it to you. Just message me. I'll get it to you. It's got great ingredients. It's organic. It's real. It's good. So anyways,
I love that.
thanks so much, Brian. Thanks to Mark. Thanks to Tim. And we will see you guys next week.